In this episode, I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips for maximizing the effectiveness of your Google Ads campaign. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Chris Brindley and I'm the owner of Straight Up Coaching. I've had a coaching business and marketing agency for the last 16 years, and I've spoken with literally thousands of customers and helped them with their Google Ads campaigns. And there's some common areas that I find that are very, very important that a lot of people tend to overlook. And the first one of those is targeting the right audience. Now, with Google Ads, it's important to note that you're able to drill down into a number of layers. Now, one of them is the geographics. So you can decide on the where a particular campaign runs. But it's important to really identifying your audience. Now, you might have a geographic limitation, or you might actually have a industry specific limitation. So it's important to do keyword research and find the keywords that people are searching for. Now, there's a cool tool from Ubersuggest. Neil Patel released it, and you can actually look at the approximate search traffic for a particular keyword that people search for. Now, if you wanted to use some rough guides, what I recommend is these sorts of numbers. When I'm looking at a particular keyword search, I always use a guide of probably somewhere between 5 to 10% of the overall search traffic you'll be getting for being in the top spot. Now, to put it in perspective, Google Ads as a total account for about 15% of the search traffic of a particular phrase. So if there's 1,000 searches per month, being in that top spot, you're probably going to get 100 or so visitors per month for that particular phrase. So you can actually use the Neil Patel tool and you can build an amount of keyword phrases that you know is going to send you a certain amount of traffic. Now, another probably good metric to use is the conversion rate to an inquiry or sale. I'd be running off somewhere between 1 to 2%. So if you need 20 sales, you're probably going to need 1,000 plus visitors to your site to get that sort of outcome. The next area I wanted to talk about is ad quality and also the relevance. Now, when you think of an ad, that's the first opportunity for you to tailor the content to your demographics for the people that you're after. So from a geographic, you can quickly pick where you want the ad focused, but the demographics and the psychographics are really what come out in that ad. So if you think about anything in Google, it's about the search intent. And so you want to make sure that your ad matches the questions that they're looking for. So with your ad copy, and nowadays with images, video, and logos, think about how that is targeting your ideal target market so that when they search for you and find you, your ad is the most relevant to them. Something else to think about here is when you have a Google ad, not really ideal for them to land on the home page. You really want to be able to get them to land on a page specific for them. So I'd recommend in your Google ads actually having more than one campaign that goes to a particular page for a particular keyword phrase or group of phrases and then a product. So a great example of this is I have a plumber who we work with and they have a whole bunch of different campaigns, hot water, commercial, general, and they go to different pages based on the campaign and the ad set. So it's important for you to make sure that you've got a landing page that's tailored for your audience. And that is actually something that Google will pick up on because they'll look at the quality score, which is a measure of your ad's effectiveness and also your page and its relevancy across all of them. And then finally, we need to talk about ongoing monitoring and optimization. So it's one thing to set up an ad. It's another thing entirely to measure its effectiveness. The previous course I just recorded, I talked about measuring your results, and indeed it's just as relevant with Google Ads to measure your results because otherwise you're just spending money for nothing. So when you set up your Google Ads campaign, make sure that you actually install the tag manager that enables you to track the conversion events. So you want to know if they're going through and filling out your form or clicking on your telephone number. And you want to know that really fast, because if you don't know that, then you don't really know how effective your campaign will run. And unfortunately, I have seen people spend money hand over fist with no outcome. One of the worst examples I heard was a finance company that was spending about $1 million a year. They weren't really sure that they were getting the campaign, but they felt good about it because, $1 million a year is a lot. And the marketing manager that went in there, I know about. Again, I'm not going to say any details, but actually switched the campaign off without telling the management. And 3 months later, there was no noticeable improvement in sales. So he went to the owner and said, "Hey, look, I've switched off this campaign. I've saved us, $250,000. Unfortunately, the management didn't see it that way, and he parted ways with them pretty quickly soon after. The point there, though, is if you don't measure your success of your campaign, is it actually working? I've seen tons of ad campaigns that are not working. I've also seen tons of ad campaigns that work really, really, really well, where they haven't been able to measure the campaign success. They've set up the success of the campaign, and then they've seen it and were able to increase or decrease in scale accordingly. So just a summary, as we spoke about initially, the first thing you want to do is identify your core target market. Then you want to tailor your ad and its copy to them specifically. And finally, you want to measure your effectiveness and you want to optimize where appropriate. I hope you've enjoyed this video. In our next video, we'll discuss more when it comes to your marketing secrets.